Hello, today we're talking about 5 reasons to open and create a limited company to buy buy-to-let property. Welcome back, my name is Marco, I'm a property investor, developer and mentor, and today we're talking about 5 reasons to create and open a limited company with which to purchase buy-to-let properties. So I have several limited companies that I use to purchase investment property and also buy-to-let property. But before we go into 5 reasons why you should consider and the advantages of operating under a limited company umbrella, I'm going to talk about who this video is really for. Well, if you're investing in property and you're thinking about opening a limited company or an SPV, a special purpose vehicle to purchase these properties in, well, generally speaking, if you're a higher rate taxpayer and you have several properties and you want to grow your property portfolio even further and purchase more properties, then a limited company is best for you. Now, this isn't financial advice. Definitely speak to an accountant that has property experience and expertise. But this video will come on to discuss 5 reasons why you really should consider putting property and purchasing buy-to-let property in a limited company. So number 1 is the most important one, and it's you pay less tax, or shall I say you generally pay less tax. Again, speak to an accountant, but really, if you're a higher rate taxpayer, you have several properties and you want to buy even more properties, well, you'd much rather pay corporation tax, which is about 19%, than pay tax on a personal level at 40% up here. So you've got 19% corporation tax. Now, corporation tax is due to increase in the future, in the years to come, or you've got 40%, if you're a higher rate taxpayer, paying that on a personal level. So I know which tax level I'd rather pay. Okay, so the second reason why you really should have property in a limited company is you can deduct the finance costs. Well, what do I mean here? Well, if you're purchasing a property or you even have a property in your personal name right now, there's Section 24, and Section 24 means you can't deduct your finance costs off the expenses. So, you've got a mortgage you're paying, you've got interest you're paying on that mortgage, whether it's an interest only or repayment mortgage, you're still, repaying interest, and you can't deduct that as a cost, which is absolutely crazy. Whereas if you operate under a limited company structure, you can legally deduct these finance costs, which obviously increases your expenses and makes your taxable income less. So again, it's a great way of paying less tax by operating through a limited company, because you can legally deduct your finance costs, whereas in a personal name, due to Section 24, you can't deduct those interest costs. So the third reason why you ought to consider having property and purchasing property within a limited company is that you have limited liability. So for anyone that knows about company structure or limited company structure, it inherently comes with limited liability. Well, what on earth is this? Well, this basically means that whatever happens in the company, some of that can't spread over into your personal name and your personal life. And what I mean by that is if the company owes money and owes debt to someone, for example, mortgages, well, all of a sudden they can't come knocking on your door and you can be personally liable for them, which is great. So it separates your limited company from you as an individual, as a person. However, the majority of lenders that lend to limited companies to purchase buy-to-let property, well, they'll want you to sign a personal guarantee. So actually this means, in the event that the company folds and is unable to pay back the loan, the mortgage you've taken out, well, they can come for you personally and you're personally liable for this. So actually the limited liability that a limited company naturally comes with sometimes isn't so advantageous when it comes to buying property, because, lenders are quite smart, they're quite savvy, and they're going to want you to personally guarantee this loan and this mortgage. However, there are other property strategies where you can incur debt and you can incur costs, but you're not required to sign a personal guarantee. So again, that's another reason why operating in a limited company is a benefit, as it gives you a little bit more protection than you would have in your own personal name. So number 4, the fourth reason why to consider operating within a limited company is it's very easy to add or remove directors. So if you're thinking forward and you're thinking in terms of the future, and maybe you want to build a legacy in a property portfolio for your family that you can hand down, over the generations, well, it's very, very simple to, add your children and make them become directors of the limited company. So it's very easy to pass and hand down. So the 5th and last reason why you should think about creating and purchasing property in a limited company is simply, it's just easy to do so. It's very simple, it's easy, and it's nice and clean. Whereas sometimes when you're buying in your own personal name, well, if you're actually using your own personal bank account, there's so many unrelated transactions going through there, so you have to sift it all through, well, which ones are related to which property, and it becomes a bit of a nightmare. But if something is all in one company, it becomes very easy to do the bookkeeping, it becomes very easy to do the accounting, and I just think it looks a bit more proper and a bit more professional too. So those are the 5 reasons why you ought to consider purchasing property within a limited company. First of all, you generally pay less tax. Second of all, you're legally able to deduct the finance costs. Third of all, you have limited liability, which gives you more protection. Fourth, it's very easy to add or remove directors, so you can pass it down to your family. And fifth, it's just very nice, easy and simple. Now, Marco, what shall I do? You know, I'm thinking about investing in property. I'm thinking about opening a limited company. Is it right for me? Really important now, if you're taking anything away from this video, speak to a property accountant. Speak to an accountant who can best advise you on how to structure the acquisitions of your properties. You know, is it a personal name? Is it a limited company? And as I've already discussed, if you're a high rate taxpayer, you've got several properties and you want to buy even more properties, well, probably a limited company is about right for you. However, let's flip this round. You're a lower rate taxpayer, maybe you don't have any properties and you just want to buy 1 or 2. Well, actually having it in your personal name is probably best for you. So what to do now? Speak to an accountant who specializes in property. And if you want to speak to my accountant, head to my website, www.ms7.uk, and click on use our team and fill out the form and you can speak to my accountant. I'll put you in touch. I trust him. I've been working with him for many years and he's saved me tens of thousands of pounds in tax. So I hope you've enjoyed this very brief video on 5 reasons why to think about buying property within a limited company. Now, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, because YouTube tells me the majority of people watching this channel are not subscribed, please do subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me and you'll help this channel grow and get these videos in front of the people that need to see them the most. And for my regular subscribers, thank you very much for your loyalty. And as you'll know, every Tuesday and every Thursday, I release a full length video at 2 o'clock. So please do stay tuned for that. I wish you all the very best with your property investing week. Goodbye.